Remember when there was some kind of a joke in the social media comments, especially Instagram Reels, TikTok, where people joked with each other by indirectly mentioning autistic by intentionally replacing it with something that rhymes with it, which is acoustic, for being humorously weird or perhaps being too smart in some different occasions. I've seen those stupid comments multiple times back in 2021 to 2023. Most of them were just, quote, is bro acoustic? Bro must be acoustic, and so on. There were lots of comments about it, which is enough for me to question myself about these things, the presence of disorders on myself, questioning about do I have these disorders, and it's going to be delusional as this story progresses and eventually goes back to normal. Now, back then, I didn't know what those things are. I don't know. I did not know what disorders were, mental or genetic. I actually know neither of them. Autism, ADHD, OCD, bipolar, Down syndrome. None of these were familiar to me. I began searching on Google about what these are and do self-diagnose inaccurately, comparing what I did with the symptoms of each disorder. I was idiotic back then, obviously. Too dumb to diagnose my own self that I believe I have these disorders while ignoring major discrepancies between my behavior and the symptoms of disorders. What I mean is that if I feel my behavior was related to one of the symptoms of each disorder, I will falsely believe I have the disorder. And what's worse is that I felt proud for believing I have these disorders. I expressed myself to my cousins, siblings. They told me that I was fine, that I have no disorders, but I insisted that I have one, giving stupid reasons why, basically deceiving both myself and them. Until one day when I was taking an autism test online, mom noticed it and she told me that I wasn't autistic. And I was born as normally as my siblings. At first I was mildly shocked. I wasn't autistic all along. I saw the test results and the grade shows a low grade, hinting that I wasn't autistic and it's just normal. It felt like my mom opened my blindfold where others can't. I eventually embarrassed myself for what I've done, spreading misinformation about myself to other people, and I hope that nobody will give this information to others. It's embarrassing. I wish I was open-minded about all this crap. Now, what are these disorders that once made me thought I have them? We'll go autism first. Autism, or ASD, is a condition that characterized by difficulties in social communication, with the symptoms of difficulties in social interaction and communication, repetitive body movement, focused interest, and inflexible routines, etc. For social interaction, people with ASD have trouble with maintaining eye contact, while I can perform flawlessly. I recognize most social cues, while they struggle to do so. For the second, we'll go for ADHD. ADHD is a disorder characterized with hyperactivity, inattention, etc. For hyperactivity, let's say that I don't bring my phone. In public, I can wait by sitting for hours, but in my home, it's a circle of death to me. Basically, walking around the whole interior of the house, circling around the tables from the dining room to the living room, and vice versa. Well, monologuing monologuing for whatever reason of or battling with my own thoughts. I couldn't sit on a chair for a moment. I have to spend the excess energy, and I could go for hours if I have no interest in watching TV or use my laptop as an alternative. So it's still no. It's still a no for me. Next one is OCD. OCD, or obsessive compulsive disorder, is a disorder characterized with obsessions and compulsions, hence the name obsessive compulsive. Although I do have obsession, it doesn't always mean that I'm on this level, and I do not remember doing something compulsive. What confused me into thinking that I have this is that I'm into even numbers. Just that. This is, it's stupid. Next is Down syndrome. Now this is delusional. It's very insane to assume that I have this genetic disorder while having no physical characteristics of a person with one. What? And for the last one, bipolar. This disorder is associated with unexpected extreme changes on emotional episodes of mood swings. At first, you're being joyful while showing a fat ass smile, thinking everything is just sunshine and rainbow. Then suddenly your mood changes to your girlfriend broke up with you kind of depression. It's basically a seesaw of mood. What I thought was if I was once happy, then become sad moments after, that means I'm bipolar. No, it's not. No. It's surprising that was this far. Imagine telling my friend this, it will be a pain in the ass. That will haunt me anytime. Oh man. And yes, and I've said it before, it's pretty dumb to assume that I had mental disorders. There were no visible signs that I was autistic, nor my family, friends noticed anything unusual. I know some who are generally autistic will be pissed once I tell this story. I saw an Instagram reel where the person was like, they had enough with people labeling autism as some kind of a trend. And that video hits me. It hits me really hard. And recently I saw clips on YouTube Shorts about a TV show, medical drama called The Good Doctor, which is about an autistic doctor working in a hospital. I won't spoil it, but you get the point. I heard that the lead actor of the drama, Freddie, who played as Dr. Sean, learned about autism and savant syndrome and from those who had it. Before going into the production, hearing this makes me question myself why a bit further. Most of the aspects that was demonstrated by him in the show shows how distant the life aspects of both me and Dr. Sean is. There are warnings where people should not diagnose themselves on their own, which I deliberately ignored, obviously. I think that's all I want to tell about this. There's nothing much for me to say to extend and condense this topic further. So, yeah, have a nice day.